Hello everyone, welcome to iQuanta. My name is Nitin. I'm sure you are doing great. Guys, this is the first video, profit and loss. In the last video when we had met, we had discussed about the markup, discount and the other factors. In this video, we'll be discussing the means by which a shopkeeper or a trader can cheat the customers. In our syllabus, basically those means are you can say mixing and the weighing kind of cheatings. So let's discuss them with the help of a few examples and questions. So guys, the first thing will be understanding with the help of this question that how can a shopkeeper cheat with the help of mixing. All right, so the question says that a shopkeeper mixes 20% water to the alcohol and sells it at the cost price. Okay, find the profit or loss percentages. All right guys, so he is mixing water to the alcohol. So one thing is pretty understood, that water is something which comes at free, you can say at ₹0, right? So we can do one more thing. We can assume the things first. That let the cost price of the only alcohol, all right, is, let's say, and we can also write the quantity. Yes, let the cost price of 1 liter of alcohol, okay, we can say this is, let's say, ₹100. Okay, and what about the selling price? So we can say the selling price of 1 liter of alcohol is also, let's say, ₹100. Okay, now what is happening? Why did I assume 100? Because I had clearly mentioned that he is selling at the cost price. Okay, even if they are not mentioning that they are selling at the cost price, let's say they are not saying anything, then we also be assume that they are selling at the cost price. If they are saying selling at some price higher than the cost price, then we will consider in that way. If they are writing nothing, it means that the customer, the shopkeeper, is selling at the cost price only. All right, moving next. Now what is happening here? He's mixing 20% water to the alcohol. So let's say he is mixing 1 liter alcohol with 0.2 liter of the water. Why 0.2 liter of the water? Because 20% water should be there in the alcohol. Simple, right? 20% water should be mixed to the alcohol, right? So one thing, as I said, the water is something which comes at price 0, right? So what is the total mixture, guys? You can see that the mixture becomes how much? The mixture is 1.2 liter, all right? And what will be the cost of this? The cost will come only with the cost of alcohol, right? And the cost of alcohol is ₹100 per liter. So we'll say what? The cost price of the final calculation. So we'll say what the cost price of 1.2 liter mixture has to be how much? It has to be, we'll say, ₹100, only because of the alcohol, because water's cost is 0. But now when he going to sell, right? So obviously he has done some kind of cheating of mixing. So whenever he'll be selling, he will tell the customer that in this mixture it's pure alcohol. Obviously the customer is going to pay the price of the alcohol, right? So what is the price of the alcohol? Remember guys, the selling price of 1 liter alcohol is 100. So what is the selling price of 1.2 liter mixture alcohol? We'll say is 100 into 1.2, which we can further say as ₹120. So overall guys, the cost price of the mixture is 100 and the selling price of the mixture is 120. That means the profit is simply, we can say, ₹20. All right, the profit is nothing but ₹20. And what about the profit percentage? See, the cost is 100, profit is 20, so profit percentage is also 20 because the cost is 100. That is, you can say, the advantage of assuming the cost as ₹100. Simple. So in this problem, we can say the profit percentage the shopkeeper is making is 20%. A simple problem, right? Let's move to the next problem. The next problem is what? It says a trader makes a profit of 20% on selling the honey. Now he mixes 25% water to the honey as well. Now we have to find out his overall profit percentages. All right. So this time, first, originally he makes some profit, but now he is also mixing water to the honey. Now we have to find out the overall profit percentages for the shopkeeper. Alright guys, in general, he makes 20% profit anyways on selling the honey, right? So in that way, we can assume the prices. Let the cost price of 1 liter honey is how much? Let's say 1 liter honey, the cost price is ₹100. The same assumption with the help of 100. And what will be the selling price of 1 liter honey? So remember guys, they have said that the cost price, he originally makes a profit of 20%, right? So his selling price has to be 120, simple as that. We can say what? His selling price has to be ₹120 in general, okay? Now he's mixing 25% water to the honey. So what is happening? We have 1 liter honey. With that we have 25% water, 25% of 1 liter, we can say 1.25 liters, right? And in the last problem also I mentioned that water is something which comes obviously free, right? So the cost price of that has to be, we'll say 0, simple. And that, by the way, makes 1.25 liters of mixture, right? Now let's do the final calculation of the cost and selling price. So what should be the selling price of this whole mixture, guys? The mixture is, we know, 1.25 liters, all right? So what is the cost price of 1.25 liter mixture? The cost price will come only with the help of the honey, whose cost is 0, and the cost of water is, whose cost is 100 and the cost of water is 0. That makes the total cost as rupees 100, all right? Now let's talk about the selling price. Okay, so selling price, again, just like the last problem we had understood, right? The customer will think that he is getting the pure honey, right? So what is the selling price of honey? 1 liter selling price. The selling price of 1 liter honey is 120, all right? So what should be the selling price of 1.25 liter honey or mixture? That must be 120 into 1.25. Once you multiply, how much should we get? We should get, you can say 150, all right? So guys, its cost of this mixture is 100 and the selling price is 150. So obviously there is a profit of 50, right? Profit of 50 rupees. And what about the profit percentages? Profit percentage is also 50 because the cost is 100. That is again the benefit of assuming the cost is 100, all right? So profit percentages also will say is 50%. So guys, these are some very basic problems to understand the concept of mixing in the profit and loss, right? Now let's do some example of weighing, right, which I have told you in the beginning that in the syllabus we have two kind of cheatings, mixing and weighing, right? So let's understand now the weighing concept, all right? In weighing, again, we'll be understanding with the help of this question. The question says that there is a trader who uses a weight of 800 grams instead of 1 kg. What is the profit or loss percentage does he make? First, let's understand the meaning of this. There is a trader who uses a weight of 800 grams instead of 1 kg. What does it mean, guys? Okay, let me draw a simple diagram here, right? So he uses a weight of 800 grams instead of 1 kg. All right. So how does he cheat? Basically, you can say there is a weight, all right, in which the written is 1 kg. You can say in which the written number is 1 kg, but the original weight of this is how much? You can say the original weight of this is 800 grams, right? The original weight is 800 grams, okay? What does it mean, guys? What does it mean? It means, it means that the trader is actually selling only 800 grams, but the customer thinks that he's getting 1 kg because on the weight 1 kg is written. Simple. You can say what? The trader is selling only 800 grams, but the customer thinks he's getting 1 kg because on the weight 1 kg is written, right? The customer thinks that he's getting the article of 1 kgs. So this is how the shopkeeper makes the profit by cheating like this. Okay, so let's write a few things. Let's write the assumption part first, because nothing is mentioned about the cost price and the selling price. Okay, so we can assume it, and they have not said anything that apart from this the trader is making any kind of cheating, means if he's marking up or something, discounting anything, nothing is mentioned. So just like the first problem, remember in the first problem they had mentioned that he's selling at the cost price. So here nothing is mentioned, but they actually want to say the same, that he is selling at the cost price, right? So we'll assume that the trader is selling at the cost price only, all right? So this is how we will proceed. So let's assume the cost price of 1 kgs, all right, let's say is rupees 1000. We can say 100,000, anything. I took 1000 because I'm using with 1 gram also, right? Okay, let's say the cost price of 1 gram is rupees 1, right? This is how I'm saying the cost price of 1 kg is also 1000. Okay, if the cost price is 1000, then selling price is also 1000, because he's not marking up at all in the beginning. So selling price of 1 kg should also be 1000. But what is happening in this question? In this question, as I said, right, the customer is getting only 800 grams because of this cheating, but customer thinks that he's getting 1 kg, right? So the shopkeeper is selling only 800 grams, right? But he's taking the money worth 1 kg article, all right? That also means we can say what? That he sells, we can write like this, that he sells 800 grams, all right, at the price of 1 kg. Okay, we can write like this also. This will make you, understand the things much better, all right? Now, what is the cost, guys? See, as I said, the trader is giving only 800 grams to the customer, so his cost will be calculated on the 800 grams, not on the 1000 grams, all right? So what is the cost of the trader? The cost will be considered of 800 grams, as I said. So the cost of 1 gram is rupees 1. So what is the cost of 800 grams? We'll say is rupees 800, simple. But when he sells, the customer thinks he is getting the whole 1 kg, right? So the customer will pay, assuming that he's getting 1 kg, so he'll be paying the money of 1 kg, right? And what is the selling price of 1 kg is rupees 1000. That means the customer is paying 1000. So the cost price for the trader is 800 and the selling price for the trader is 1000. That means he makes a profit of rupees, we'll say 200, simple. He makes a profit of 200. And what should be the profit percentage in this way, right? What is the profit percentage? So guys, the profit percentage we'll say is profit upon CP, right? Profit upon cost. So profit is 200 and the cost is how much? The cost is 800. All right. So what is this? We'll say this is 1 by 4, and 1 by 4 we can further say as how much? Obviously this is 25%. So in this way we can say that the trader is making 25% profit in this particular problem. All right, so I hope you are able to understand these basic questions. Now let's increase the level a little bit, right? This time what is given, the trader uses a weight of 900 grams instead of 1 kg, the same kind of sentence, but this time he sells at marked price, which is 20% more than the cost price. So we have to find the overall profit or loss percentages. So guys, first thing is the same, the cheating based on the weight, right? I have again written, make a similar kind of diagram, right? So on the weight, it must be written 1 kg. So the customer will think that he's getting the article worth 1 kg, but the trader uses a weight of 900 grams. So the original weight of this is how much? The original weight of this is actually 900 grams. That means he sells only 900 grams and cheats the customers. You can say like this. Okay. In fact, we can write the similar kind of statement which I had written before as well, that the trader sells, okay, he sells 900 grams, all right, at the price of 1 kg, right? At the price of 1 kg. That means a customer think that they are getting 1 kg, but in real they are getting only 900 grams, all right? Okay, so we can assume a few things that let the prices part, that the cost price of 1 gram, I'll start with 1 gram this time. Let's say the cost price of 1 gram is rupees 1. So what should be the cost price of the 1000 grams? It has to be, we'll say rupees 1000. Okay. And what about the selling price, guys? The selling price of 1000 grams should be how much? Okay, if you now the comes the part of the marking up. Remember, he sells the article at the marked price, which is 20% more than the cost price, which is 20% more than the cost price. So what should be the selling price, guys? We can say it is 20% more than that. That means we can say it has to be 1200, right? See, he's only marking up. He is not giving the discount in this problem. So there is no discount. That means a marked price must become the selling price as well, right? You can say what? The marked price must become the selling price because there is no discount, simple. If there is discount, then we again, subtract the discount amount to get the final selling price, okay? But in this question only, there is marking up, no discount. So marked price is the selling price as well. Okay, next part, guys, we have written this for the 1 kg or 1000 grams, right? Now in this problem, remember, the customer is getting only 900 grams and paying the price of 1 kg. So for the trader, the cost price will be considered for 900 grams, because in real he is giving only 900 grams to the customers, right? So what should we say here? The cost price will write of what? Of 900 grams, right? The cost price will write of 900 grams. We can say that, and it has to be how much? It has to be rupees 900, simple. What about the selling price? Okay, the selling price will be considered for, we'll say what? For 1 kg, right? So let's write the selling price of 1000 grams. The selling price of 1000 grams should be how much? See guys, the selling price of 1000 gram in this question is 1200 because of markup thing as well, right? So selling price should be 1200, and finally we can calculate what should be, the profit percentages, right? In this case, you can see that the profit is coming how much? 300 rupees, simple. Now, in the end, we have to calculate the profit percentages. So profit percentage is what? It's something which is calculated on the basis of the cost, right? Profit is 300, the cost is 900. So what it should be, guys, it should be, we'll say 1 by 3, and 1 by 3 is nothing but 33.33% is simple, right? So the profit percent in this case has to be 33.33% is another wonderful application of the, cheating based on the weighing. Okay, so there are a few more problems which we'll be discussing, all right? Question number 5, a very good question again on the, you can say, weighing based cheating. The question says that there is a trader, he sells the goods to a customer at a profit of K percentage over the cost price. Besides it, he cheats the customer by giving 880 gram only instead of 1 kg. All right, he gives only 880 grams instead of 1 kg, right? Now they're saying his overall profit percentage is 25%. We have to find the value of the K. All right. Okay, so what is happening here? First, he sells a good to a customer at a profit of K percentage over the cost price. So originally he was making a profit of K percentage, without doing any other kind of cheating, right? Originally he was making a profit of K percentages. Then they are saying beside this, he also cheats the customer by giving 880 grams only instead of 1 kg. Thus, his profit percentage is 25%, and we have to find the value of the K. All right, guys. So anyways, we know his overall profit is 25%, right? And in the beginning, he's making the profit of K percentages. The problem is that we have to find the value of this K, which is we do not know. All right, so first you can start with this, right? That he is giving 880 gram only instead of 1 kg. So we can say what? That this time he sells 880 grams only, right? At the price of 1 kg, right, guys? At the price of 1 kg, he sells how much? He sells only 880 grams, all right? Originally, he was making some profit, which unfortunately we do not know. In fact, that is a question to find the value of K, right? So we can say one thing. See, guys, he is giving how much to the customers? Remember, in real, he is giving only 880 grams, but he's taking the money of 1 kg, right? He's asking the money of 1 kg in real. Okay, if I just assume that the cost price of 1 gram is, let's say, ₹1, okay, so what should be the cost price of 1000 grams? We'll say has to be obviously 1000 rupees. But we do not know the selling price this time, guys. हम लोग को इस बार selling price नहीं पता है, right? Because originally, we do not know that how much profit does he make. We just know that he makes a profit of K percentages. By the way, we can also write that K percentage of 1000 is 10K, right, guys? We can say like this, okay? So yes, we can say CP plus K percentage of CP, all right? This is how we can do, okay? CP is how much? ₹1000 plus K percentage of CP, that means K percentage of ₹1000, which further we can say what? 10K percent of 1000 should be 10K, all right? So this should be, we can say ₹1000 plus, we'll say, how much? 10K, all right? So this is, you can say, without, the cheating of the weight, this should be the selling price of the shopkeeper, all right? Now what? Now he will do the cheating of the weights as well, right? So we can do one thing, we can write over here, right? He is giving how much? He's giving to the customer only 880 grams. So we'll write his cost price will be calculated on the basis of 880 grams, but he will get the money. His selling price will be calculated on the basis of how much? We'll say his selling price will be taken on the basis of 1 kg, right? Because he's asking, the customer thinks that he's getting 1 kg, the customer will pay the price of 1 kg, to the trader. All right, now the cost price of 880 grams is how much? Remember, the cost price of 1 gram is 1 rupees. So for the 880 grams, we shall say it is 880 rupees, number one thing, all right? Now coming to the revenue part, right, the selling price part. So remember, guys, he is taking the money of 1 kg, and what is the price of 1 kg? That we can say is 1000 plus 10K, right? We can say this is nothing but 1000 plus 10K. All right, but we are also given that he is making the overall profit of 25%, right, guys? We are already given that overall he is making the profit of 25%, right? So cost price is 880, right? And profit is given how much? 25%. So what should be the profit? We can write it here. Okay, the profit is 25% of the cost, all right? The cost is 880 rupees. That means 25% of rupees 880, which should be how much? Which is obviously rupees 220, right? So what should be the selling price with the help of this data, right guys? The selling price with the help of this data should be obviously the cost plus the profit, obviously. So CP plus profit, we can say, should be the selling price according to the data which is given to us, right? CP is how much? CP is 880, we can write like this, and the profit is 220, we can write like this. This gives you how much? This gives us 1100, all right? Okay, so with this, we know the selling price should be 1100, right? But with the weight thing, we can say, the K percentage thing, we can say his selling price should be 1000 plus 10K. But obviously, both the selling price have to be the same because we are dealing obviously the same scenario. So we can say this selling price should be equal to this selling price. That means 1000 plus 10K has to be, 1100. That will give us the value of K easily, right? We can say the 10K has to be 100 and the value of K has to be nothing but 10, right? And that was the question, right? That was the original question, to find the value of K. So we can say yes, the value of K should be equal to 10. So finally guys, we solved this wonderful question as well. Now one more question based on the same, and yes, it is a tricky question, right? The question says that a trader uses a weight of 700 grams instead of 1 kg. So again, the cheating based on the weighing. But this time, he marks up the goods by 16.66%, and then he also offers a discount of 10% on the mark price. So there is the weighing cheating, the markup, and also the discount. And finally, we have to find out his profit percentage. All right, guys, let me draw the similar diagram. All right. So what is the original weight? The weight which is written on this weight is 1 kg. This is a weight on which 1 kg must be written, but the original weight of this should be how much, right? The original weight of this has to be, its original weight has to be, we'll say 700 grams, as it is given, right? He uses the weight of 700 grams instead of 1 kg, right? So what is happening this time? That means he sells 700 grams at a price of 1 kg, right guys? He sells 700 grams at the price of 1 kg. That means he gives the customer only 700 grams, but the customer thinks that he's getting 1 kg. So the customer will pay him 1 kg, and obviously the trader will make the money, right? He sells 700 grams at the price of 1 kg. All right. What next, guys? Okay, but there is a lot of other things are happening, remember? So we should first start the assumption part, right? Okay, we can assume the cost price and selling price something, right? What should I assume? Let's the cost price of 1 gram is how much? See guys, usually I assume as 1 rupees. We can do the same here as well. But in this question, remember, he's marking up by 16.66%. 16.66% is 1 by 6, right? If I assume 1 rupees, it will be difficult in terms of the calculation. So I just want to take it as a multiple of 6 so that its 1 by 6 can be calculated easily, right? See, 16.66 is 1 by 6. If this is a multiple of 6, then 1 by 6 of the multiple of 6 will give us a natural number, and the calculation will be pretty easy. So that's why I want to assume this as, let's say, a multiple of 6. The first multiple of 6, let's say, is rupees 6 only. All right, so the cost price of 1 gram, let's say, is rupees 6. Okay, now in selling price, there will be a lot of calculation, we can say that. By the way, what is the cost price of whole 1 kgs? So we'll say what the cost price of 1 whole kgs must be. So we can say what, obviously this should be 6,000 rupees, right? Now coming to the selling price part. So guys, in selling price, there's a lot of things going to happen. All right, the cost price is 6,000, but first there will be a markup of what? 16.66. all right, so we can actually start by writing first mark price. Okay, so mark price is 16.66% is more than that. 16.6 is, we know, is 1 by 6, so it should be 7 by 6 of, you can say, cost price. Simple, which should be 7,000. all right, now the next thing we'll say the discount and the selling price finally, right? Discount is given how much? The discount is 10%. Is this 10% means 1 by 10, so 1 by 10 should be subtracted. That means it should be mark price into 9 by 10. Okay, just like it, this you can say is cost price into 7 by 6. This we can say is mark price into 9 by 10. Simple. Mark price is 7,000. We just found here into 9 by 10, or you can simply subtract 10% as well, same thing, you know, mark price minus 10% of mark price. So 10% of 7,000 is 700, so 7,000 minus 700 is 6,300, or we can do like this, 7,000 into 9 by 10 is also, we shall say, 6,300. All right. Now, so finally we have the cost price of 1 kg and we also have the selling price of 1 kg, right? But this is, by this we can't find the profit percentages because we did not consider that part yet, you know, remember he gives the customer only the 700 grams. So what is his real, you know, cost price and selling price? So his real cost price will be considered on the basis of 700 grams, while his real selling price will be considered on the basis of 1 kgs only, right? So guys, what is the cost price of 700 grams? Remember, we assume the cost price of 1 gram is 6. So for 100 gram is 600 and for 700 gram is 600 into 7, which means 4200, right? And his selling price of 1 kgs must be, we can say, 6300, all right? Now, there should be what? We should finally consider the profit, and profit percentage is simple. Profit is simply, you can see, is 2100, all right? And the last thing is to calculate the profit percentages, which we all know, you know, profit percentage is what? That profit is what percentage of CP. Okay, profit is 2100 and CP in this question is being 4200, which is just double of 2100. So guys, we can say this is 1 by 2, and further we can also call this 50 percentages, and finally we can say in this problem the overall profit is being 50 percentages. Alright guys, so this is how, you know, we discussed this wonderful question as well. And yes, that was the last question of this, you know, concept. So guys, after that, you know, in the next video, when I will be meeting, we'll be doing some wonderful application of profit and loss before moving to the next chapter. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Till the next video, you can revise everything and also practice some questions. And yes guys, you can also write down something in the comments whether you like the videos or not, and you can also give some feedbacks, right? If you want us to cover anything else for you, you can write that as well. Till then, thank you so much guys. Bye bye, take care.